Hi guys, welcome to the midweek vlog drop. So today's vlog drop, I've been thinking about a few things that I wanted to discuss, wanted to get off my chest, and it's going to have to be the whole, I know you've heard it a lot and it feels like I'm rambling on and on and on because you've been hearing about it the entire year, basically, since January. Hopefully, fingers crossed and everything else, you won't be hearing about it for that much longer. The whole unemployment issue. Yes, okay. How do I feel about being unemployed? Let me give you a little bit of a brief background, catch up, history lesson, trip down memory lane, because then maybe you'll get a better understanding of why I feel the way I feel. Right guys, picture it. Sicily, 1922. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, if you see black spots around my hairline anywhere, please don't be alarmed. I've just colored my hair. I'm not a dirty mess of a person. Rewind back into time. Finished high school at 16. My dad and mom gave me a choice. I had to finish high school with a university entrance. There was no other way. So I had to do whatever was required for me to get university entrance. I had to make sure I passed the subjects. I did mathematics, I did science, I did geography, biology, English and Afrikaans. Are those subjects I wanted to do? No. Are they subjects I excelled in? No. The only subject I was fairly good at was English and Afrikaans, the languages. I did not enjoy anything else. I hated high school. Anyways, cut a long story short, got through high school just about. All I wanted to do at that age, from my teens, 13 to finishing high school, the entire part of my high school, what do you call it, life, from 13 to 16, all I wanted to do was dance and compete and win and be the world champion. So that's all I aspired towards. I did not care much for school, didn't want to be there, felt I was forced to go, went as minimum as required, went just to get through. In South Africa we say matriculated, finished my high school, got my university entrance diploma so that I could study whatever I wanted to study thereafter. My dad then gave me an option. He said, right, you can go to uni and we fund your uni, or you can have an air ticket, you can go to London and study dancing. If you go into London and study dance, that is the last you hear from me. The air ticket will be the last time I fund anything in your life. And I said, I'll have the air ticket. And that was it. One-way ticket to London and that was me done. God, the wall's dirty in the background. I thought it was my screen, but it's the wall. One-way ticket to London and that was me sorted. Never got a dime from my dad again after that. Was it easy? No. 16 in London, alone, with my dance partner, trying to make ends meet, trying to find a job. Went through a lot of shitty jobs, went through whatever I could go through to bring some money in to support the dancing, to make the championships, to buy the dresses, to buy the dance shoes and to get through, to travel to all the major championships. Because dance sport was not recognized as a sport in South Africa, the government didn't fund it like the Germans were funded and sponsored and all of those things. We weren't sponsored athletes. I had a lot of shitty jobs. I had the hardest times of my entire life in London. Would I go back and change a single thing about that experience? Not at all. I believe every part of that whole experience of living in London molded me and played a very important role in the person I am today. Anyway, studied dance, had shitty jobs, finally landed some really nice jobs which paid some fairly decent money and always worked. So from 16, the day I accepted that air ticket to get on a plane and study dance in London, left my family in South Africa, I never looked back and I've never not worked a day in my life. Worked throughout my dancing career to support it. What happened then? Moved back to South Africa afterwards and climbed the ladder, did the biggest championship ever, was placed third in the world, and it was the first time a dance couple of color had made it that far ahead. So it was a very big moment for South Africa and for us and for everyone. Then from there, still danced all over the world and dancing was my career. I taught dancing, I did shows, I competed until things happened which forced me to stop dancing. My dance partner and I had forced to split up. We stopped dancing, my mom and dad got divorced, and then I had to find, because dancing was like paycheck to paycheck. It wasn't a steady income. It was great money, easy money, and you would do a show for like 4 minutes and get paid some ridiculous amount of money. But then those shows were, unless you had a show every week, it was great from one gig to the next. Artist lifestyle, I say. And it was cool, but it was only cool for me. you know, with no one else in the equation. Then my mom and dad got divorced and my mom had to downgrade a lot. So at the time her and my dad were living in Dubai, she had to move out of the big fancy villa in Kim. She downsized into a 2-bedroom apartment in Tecom with my sister, and my dad left Dubai. For her to be able to stay in Dubai, I had to then find a real job, a real paying job that had a salary coming in every month, unlike my dancing, which was here and there. So sold out, left the dream for a little bit and thought, this is important, time to knuckle down, support the family and try and make sure things move on smoothly. My mom's transitions happen smoothly, that the rent gets paid, that there's food on the table, and that all of that. So got another job in fashion. That was the start of my fashion career in Dubai, and worked my way up the ladder. I loved the job, I loved the role, I loved everything about it, and I grew in the company. I earned good enough money to help my mom get settled until she was ready to make her next move, which was to move back home. So I sold the dream of dance, and that's where dancing ended for me. Then I stopped working in fashion retail. The offer of working in fitness came along and I took that. So imagine, so from 16, working straight after high school, working to support the dancing, then working in dancing, then going back to fashion to support mum, then moving to fitness until January this year, where first time since 16 I have not worked. How do I feel about it? Some people have said I obviously needed this rest in my life. They said that I've been working all my life since 16. At 39, it's time to just exhale, take some time out, figure out what I want to do next, and then get in. I've done that, and I'm telling you, I am ready to go. Go like I've never gone before. So it's been really hard, where I've gone from a role of always supporting myself to helping out with my mom and helping support my family, to back to supporting myself, to now not being able to support myself at all. Is pretty crap. It's not, it's foreign policy to me. I don't know how to do this. Nico and I, we are in a relationship where there are no roles. So whatever needs to be done gets done by either of us to make things run. You know, we don't have a maid, we don't have a nanny, and it's always been like that. There's no gender specific roles in our family. If the cooking needs to get done and you're there to cook, you cook. If the laundry needs to get done and you're there to do the laundry, well, we know laundry, we all do our own laundry. If Nathaniel needs a bath time, bedtime, school lunch to be packed, drop off, whoever can manage it will do it. For the past 5 years that I've been in fitness, I've missed most of those. Nico's always handled school drop-off and he's always handled bedtime routine with Nathaniel. In terms of financial, we split whatever we can to make the ends meet and make things work, and it's always been like that from day number one. Now I'm at a point where I can't contribute. I haven't been contributing to this family for the past 4 months now. April, January, February, March, April. So how do I feel about it? Pretty shitty, pretty pathetic. I feel like I'm not pulling my weight, and I feel a bit of my, what would you call it? My contribution to this family has, I know money is not the main thing that makes a family and a household run, but it's a very important thing, especially in Dubai when everything is so bloody expensive. And not that Nico minds, and not that he probably does mind, not that he's mentioned it or he makes me feel guilty about it, but I know that he's probably carrying a lot of weight on his shoulders too, which needs to end very soon, because the fact that I am not spending my own money, I'm not used to this, and yeah, it's just weird. I'm spending someone else's money. You will not believe how good it feels to work really hard, earn a paycheck, and then enjoy that paycheck. That's what I work for, and that's what I live for, and the fact now that I'm not being able to do that and I'm spending someone else's hard-earned money, that's not so cool. It doesn't sit very well with me. And I don't know if it doesn't sit very well with me just because I've never ever been. My mom is 61, she's gonna be 61 years old. She still gets up every day, 5 days a week, and goes to an office and works. She's still a hard-working woman, because bills need to be paid, and that's how you raised. You work until you can't work anymore. And that's what I'm like. I've got to work until I can't work anymore. And the fact that I can work and I'm not working is not so. We have separate bank accounts. We contribute, we split things. Nico handles certain payments. I handle certain payments. Not recently, but everything gets split down the middle and we try and do our fair share. We both came into this relationship with nothing, and we built whatever we have. So it's time for me to start contributing to the building again. It's challenging. That is how I feel about being unemployed. It is something that I've never done in my whole life until 39, and it's really hard relying on a man for things I've never relied on a man for ever in my past. And on that note, Nika's been an absolute superstar, and I'm grateful for it, but it's time it ends. Thanks for watching the vlog, guys. Have a great weekend. Catch you on the next one on Monday. Have a good week. Bye bye.